Welcome to the Survivor to Thriver show with your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Do you feel stuck, silent, and stressed? Is something hurting your heart and soul? Are you burning yourself out? If so, you are in the right place because this is the podcast people from all over the world join in to learn exactly how to stop suffering and start living with inner peace and joy. Let's get started. Hey, last episode I was sharing with you the struggle that I am dealing with in terms of maintaining a healthy diet for myself. And I realized and recognized that the primary challenge that I have around maintaining that good diet for myself is an environmental issue. It's that when I am in an environment that is not supportive, then I find it very difficult to resist the temptation to eat things that are not good for me, that I know are not good for me, that are out of alignment with the diet that my doctor has prescribed for me. Now, of course, there are other factors that go into why I'm dealing with this challenge that are internal. But we have been talking a lot over the course of the last so many months about these kinds of internal factors that influence us and impact our ability to stay true to our intentions and reach our goals. And I realized that I've not really paid a lot of attention to addressing environmental factors. So we are going to correct that now and focus more right now on the environmental factors, okay, that pose the challenges that can come in the way of my being able to maintain my good diet. All right, so like I was telling you, if I had the will, if I had the desire, if I had the focus that was needed, which are all internal issues, to resist the temptation, to maybe even create a state of mind where I don't even get tempted, I can do that. And you can too. We all have that capacity. Now, I was telling you last episode that when we fight against our environment, meaning like it's a battle between our will and our environment will pretty much always win. We may be able to defeat the environmental influences and factors in the short term, but in the long term, we're fighting an uphill battle and we're fighting a losing battle. It's not a sustainable strategy. So our best bet of being able to win the battle, to achieve our goals, to stay true to our intentions, is to create a context within which we have the necessary help and support and accountability that we need. Meaning that rather than focusing on fighting against the environment, you change the conditions within the environment. You transform the environment itself. Or if not completely, you can transform certain aspects of the environment such that they become supportive, such that they now offer you greater accountability. And then, voila, suddenly the tables have turned. And you no longer have to fight that uphill battle, and it's certainly no longer a losing battle. So things don't necessarily become easy, but they certainly become a lot easier. You still have to take action, but you can do it. It becomes something that you can manage. So let me give you an example of a strategy that I can use and I have used in the past to help myself in very similar circumstances. Now, of course, in these similar circumstances, in terms of I'm out somewhere and I have limited options of food and I have limited control in terms of what I get to eat, what options I have available to eat, because that was the condition that I was facing last week. Okay, so I faced this kind of condition previously and managed to successfully come out of it without having violated my diet. Okay, and feeling really good and strong about that. So the first most critical difference between what happened last week and what has happened previously, when I have successfully maintained my good diet, is of course internally. Internally, I was more focused and more committed to the goal of maintaining my good diet. But again, I'm not going to focus right now on how do you create that internal focus? How do you maintain that internal commitment? We can talk about that in a future episode. Today I want to talk about, okay, what can we do at the level of tweaking the environment to make it more supportive, right? So I'll share with you just one strategy that I love that has worked really, really well for me. And it's actually a proven effective strategy. I didn't come up with it. I learned this particular strategy when I was at there's this health center called True North Health Center in Santa Rosa, California. And I went up there with my entire family, actually, several years ago, and got a full-on education about, okay, like what to eat, how to eat, and just an overall how to create and maintain a healthy lifestyle. And one of the things that I loved the most about what I was learning there, or the approach that they took to learning there, was that they were also teaching us about how to deal with social pressures and how to deal with the challenges of maintaining a good, healthy diet and lifestyle, the challenges that we can face at a psychological level. Okay, and they have a psychologist who's a resident at the health center. His name is Dr. Lyle, and he is so funny. He's really, really funny. I love the way he teaches. And so this was a technique that I learned from him. And basically the crux of it is that you need to reach out for more help and support. See, when the environment as a whole is not supportive, you need to reach out for help and support. So you have to ask for what you need, ask for what you want. So I want more support and more accountability to help me stay true to my diet, to not eat things that I know are not good for me. So I have to ask. If the environment does not already have that support, then I need to ask for that support. And we can do that very simply by just being very, very honest. Now, you don't have to make an announcement to the entire room. Like in my case, I was at this conference and I was having lunch and dinner with other attendees at the conference. So it wasn't like I was so it's not like I need to make a general announcement to everybody at the conference about what I'm struggling with. No, it's like you find one person, maybe two persons, that you develop a certain connection with or feel comfortable speaking to, and you just let them know very honestly that, hey, look, I have been prescribed this kind of a diet. And in my case, I let them know that I'm not allowed to eat dairy or gluten. And those are the two biggest no-nos for me: no dairy, no gluten. And I say, you know what, this is really important for me to maintain my good health, that I maintain, that I stay in alignment with this prescribed diet, but it's something that I struggle with, and especially when I'm out and I've limited options in terms of what I can eat, sometimes I can get really tempted, and I'm actually feeling kind of tempted right now. So can you please help me and support me in just sticking to my diet? And whenever I've done this, I've never had anyone say no, because people naturally want to help. People are good. We want to help each other. We want to support each other. I've never had anyone say no to me when I have presented to them my request in this kind of way. So once they say yes, then you have to let them know how they can help you, right? It's not enough to just say, please help me. It's also really important that you guide people and make it easy for them to help you by guiding them as to what they can do specifically to help you. So depending on the context, how much I know that person, etc., I may make different requests. So one of the requests I will often make is that, okay, so all I need for you to do is just kind of stick with me as we go get our food. And because I know that you know about what I'm to eat and not eat, what is good for me and what is not, because I've just told you, then it'll help me to make sure that I only put what I'm allowed to eat on my plate, right? Because I feel a sense of greater accountability when there's someone there right next to me who knows what I'm allowed and what I'm not allowed. And sometimes that's all that I need. I may ask them if I feel need for a little bit more support. I may say, hey, if you ever see me throughout the rest of the time, or if you're ever maybe at a different time when you weren't with me in the food line or something, if you see me eating something that I wasn't supposed to eat, can you just give me a look that lets me know that you know that I know that you know that I'm eating something that I shouldn't be, and again, for me, that just that look, it can be enough to help me feel that sense of extra accountability. So then I will put away that food I'm not supposed to eat. I'll just put it away. Usually that's enough for me. Now, I will tell you that when I'm around my family, sometimes just a look, if they catch me eating something that I'm not supposed to be eating, is not always enough. And not that it's not enough, but it's just that because it's my family, it's I kind of let it go a little further in terms of, especially with my sister. She'll see me eating something I'm not supposed to eat. She'll give me the look, and I'll be like, I'll continue shoving that food into my mouth until she comes and literally grabs my arm and drags me away from that food. And it's not that I really need her to drag me away, but it's that's just part of how she expresses her love, and I love to receive that expression of love. It's it's just, for me, it's really fun and funny in that moment to allow that to happen and to have that happen. So with my sister around, she knows that she has to drag me away, and she does, and she's really, really good about that, and I really, really appreciate her doing that, and I love her for doing that. So, it's you can just simply ask for what you need. Just ask for what you need and do it openly, do it honestly, allow yourself to be vulnerable with people. And when you allow yourself to be vulnerable with people, then people respond. They'll respond with empathy, they'll respond with compassion, and they'll do what they can to help you. And it doesn't have to be so hard, in terms of just these little tweaks that we create in our environment to create greater support and accountability for ourselves can just completely turn the tables on the problem, on the challenge, and just transform it into, in fact, a beautiful opportunity for us to experience greater love and support and empathy and compassion and greater connection, more meaningful connection with other people around us. And at the same time, make our lives a whole lot easier and more joyful and more peaceful and more healthy and more happy, right? So give this a try. And if you know any other techniques, that if this is a challenge that you struggle with also, and if there are other techniques that you have tried that really, really helped you, I would love to hear from you about what those things are. Just go to my website at www.academyofthriving.com. Click on the Contact Us page, and you'll see how you can connect with me. You can, depending on how you're listening to this episode, you can even just go to my Facebook profile, and every episode of the podcast is also uploaded onto my Facebook profile. So you can even leave your comments and your ideas and your suggestions on my Facebook page right under this the posting of this particular episode, so we can learn from each other and we can help each other. And hey, if you need some extra support, you need some personal connection, you know that I'm one person that you can connect to and reach out to for that extra help and support that you need. And again, you can just go to my website and click on the Contact Us page and connect with me. So, all right. With that, I'm going to go ahead and just wish you lots of peace and joy until we connect next time.